You know, the Big Ten and Pac-12 normally just get together every January for the Rose Bowl. Now they have more common ground. A day after the Big Ten sent only conference games in the fall in all sports, Pac-12 doing the same thing, but with an important wrinkle. They'll delay the start of all scheduled games. This affects football, men's and women's volleyball, as well as men's and women's soccer. If the Ivy League was first, then the Big Ten, then the Pac-12. Now, we should mention half of the schools in the entire conference are in the hard-hit states of Arizona and California. Our college football reporter, Heather Dinich, is here. Can you tell us just how the Pac-12 came to this decision?
Well, Zubin, you just nailed it. The coronavirus was the deciding factor in this decision. There was unanimous agreement from everyone involved in the process, from university presidents down to the coaches and athletic directors, that it's simply unrealistic to have an on-time start to the season when you're seeing these spikes in Arizona, particularly Southern California, where USC and UCLA are located. They really felt compelled that they had to do this for the health and safety of their student athletes. And there's no timetable as to when the season might actually start, but they will determine the conference-only schedule by July 31st.
Remember, USC, UCLA, Cal, Stanford, ASU, Arizona. The Big Ten and the Pac-12 have made their decisions here in the last couple days. So what's the status pending schedule-wise for the ACC, the SEC, and the Big 12?
All three of those conferences have said to ESPN that they plan to wait until later this month, likely the end of July, to make their decisions. Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby told me today that he would like to get to the point where the players are in helmets and shoulder pads, and there's something that resembles football to see how that experience actually works before they make a decision. But he told me that as we sit here today, the ideal situation remains a full schedule that starts on Labor Day.
Keep in mind, this could be the last big decision for ACC Commissioner John Swofford, who is soon to retire. What a way to leave. Last thing, Notre Dame was scheduled to host Stanford and play at USC. Of course, those are now out the window. So how will the country's biggest independent handle their scheduling?
Well, that's yet to be determined, but I know that Athletic Director Jack Swarbrick is going to be looking next to see what the ACC Conference does do, because they have an existing agreement with that league. They're already playing 6 games, and both John Swofford and Jack Swarbrick seem amicable to the idea that the ACC could then help Notre Dame fill the rest of its schedule with teams from their conference. So it will be interesting to see what the ACC does, because Notre Dame's going to need some help, that's for sure. Because don't forget, they also just lost Wisconsin at Lambeau Field.
No question. One other quick note from a national championship winning independent, BYU is scheduled to play 2 Big Ten teams and 3 Pac-12 teams, and now that's all off the table as well. That's our Heather Dinich. One important tweet surrounding the Pac-12 Commissioner Larry Scott has tested positive for the coronavirus. They put out a statement there on Twitter. Just want to mention, because age is always an issue here, Commissioner Scott is 55 years old.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.